Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Today is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. Here we are once again at Department of Career Services. That's better, right? Where our goal is to help our students and interested people on their journey through this life. Let's see. Let me say it this way. There's two kinds of people. People who know they're saved and people who don't. If you are saved, mazel tov. Great. That's super fantastic. Wonderful. You've made it. Huzzah. This is not for you. However, you are invited, and should you choose to approach it as a student or a child, you might, who knows, there might be some value. At least you'll know how other people think. On the other hand, if you're one of the other people who do not know whether you are saved, this is for you because it will help you on your journey through this life. You can believe we have a transcendent soul, a soul that continues after death, or you can believe that this is all there is. You can believe we are atoms in the void, and somehow, however remote the probability, the reality is we are entities with a conscience. We are bodies that have a brain, that have a consciousness. Or you can believe we are spirits with a body. We're spirits with a body. Temporarily. And that we continue on our journey. Here we choose to believe we are spirits with a body that continues on the trajectory we are on. And so how to have the best trajectory and to stay on that trajectory is the question. That is the question. So we're here to help on that, and we do it in 4 areas: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And why do we do that? Well, if life is a gift, an undeserved gift, if we have the gift of life and we break that down even further, we aren't life like a plant or a sea mollusk or a chimpanzee or anything else. We have this body that enables us to do incredible things, very dexterous things, to going long distances, to being able to handle a pretty wide range of hardships on the spectrum of the earth. Well, maybe not, but there's a lot we can do in the spectrum we can exist in. And we have these emotions. So we have this gift of life, but it's further augmented or polished, refined by saying we have this body. Okay, so we have a gift of a body. We need to take care of that body. We need to honor the gift. We need to take care of the body we have been given, fitness and health. Don't eat bad foods. Don't take drugs. Don't do things that damage the body. Do things that make the body perform to its maximum ability for the maximum amount of time. Okay, we have this brain. We've been gifted with a brain that is the most complex thing in the universe other than the universe. Unlike any other animal brain. We honor the brain by using the brain, by learning. So that's the second part. Physical, mental. Also, we have emotions. We've been gifted with these emotions that are extremely powerful, more powerful than any other animal. And we honor the emotions by learning to control them, not let them control us. And then what? And we have the fundamental belief that we are spirit, made in the image of God, and God is spirit. Cool. Cool. So we are here to help people on their journey through that life. So I'm talking, but my brain is thinking about Thursday night's talk. The Thursday night talk at Unified. All right, so that's why we are here. This is week 2, day 2 of week 2 in our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. How does the brain work? What's going on up there? This week 2 we call Inside My Skull-Sized Kingdom, and we call it that because our perception is the world revolves around us. If I say go to the store, automatically you take that to mean from where you are, from your position. But what if I meant from over there or over there? So we take it, I'm hungry, okay, compared to what? It's hot outside, compared to what? Okay, we see the world as revolving around us, and that's okay. So this week we learned why. Yesterday we learned about neurons, how they work. Today we're learning about neurotransmitters, which are the chemicals that create our feelings. And in today's TED Talk, Simon Sinek goes through 4 neurotransmitters that he says are responsible for about 90% of our feelings of happiness. So he says we have 2 of them that are the selfish ones, meaning we don't need anyone else to it, endorphins and dopamine. So you want to release endorphins, go for a run, go work out, or laugh. That releases endorphins, makes us feel good. About 10 or 15 minutes into a workout, you start feeling, hey, I feel good. Well, as your muscles are breaking down, as the cells are breaking down, neurotransmitters are released to make us feel good. So we keep doing it. We keep running after the gazelle 100,000 years, 200,000 years ago in the savannah, 1,000,000 years ago. We release endorphins that keep us going because the reward is in sight. Well, that would be the reward in sight would be the dopamine. But because we're getting endorphins released in us and it feels good to run, yeah, or other physical activities. The second one is dopamine, what he calls the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. The instant gratification for doing things. The thing that makes us do our to-do list. However, Simon Sinek says, danger, dopamine is highly, highly, highly addictive. You want to feel good, go eat a piece of chocolate cake, etc., sort of thing. So those are the selfish neurotransmitters. The social ones are serotonin and oxytocin. Serotonin has to do with status, the feeling you get when you get a tattoo or you get a new car or whatever, you get an award, there's a ceremony, and you are recognized. And then there is oxytocin, what does he say, the rainbows, unicorns, little puppies. It's the feeling we get when we hug someone or someone hugs us. It's the reason old ladies have comfort dogs, or anybody has a comfort dog. It's because the oxytocin, and those dogs do play an important role, to the point to keep people from losing it all, from completely losing sanity. next. Okay, so we learn about those. Tomorrow, we're going to learn about the reticular activating system. But Thursday, we're going to learn about cocktails of neurotransmitters, angels cocktails and devils cocktails. So one other neurotransmitter Simon Sinek talks about is cortisol, which is a brain cloud, which is associated with stress. And in itself, cortisol is not bad, but it's the constant drip, drip, drip. Because while cortisol is being released in our system, when we're in fight or flight mode, we don't need our immune system to be working. We don't need a lot of systems in our body going. So when we're under stress, we can have sicknesses or inflammation or whatever. Things can harm our body. Okay, so that is today's TED Talk, Simon Sinek. Very important towards answering the two questions of who am I and why do I behave the way I do. So who am I? I'm a collection of over 100 trillion cells and 10 times that number of bacteria. 100 trillion cells, none of them know me and none of them care who I am, yet somehow I can think a thought and actually do something. Like I can raise my arm by thinking a thought about it, telling my arm to go up and my arm does. Wow, magic. So, or stretch out your right hand, put your hand on your chin, right? Is this your chin? No. But if you say to people that, a lot of people, when you say put your hand on your chin, they'll put it on their cheek because they saw you do it. It's what we see. Okay, so who am I? Why do I behave the way I do? A lot of the reason I behave the way I do is because of the feelings that I have. Simon Sinek talks about it just doesn't feel right in my gut. Doesn't feel right. Neurotransmitters. Okay, time is racing. Let's move on. What else do we have? Oh, advice from an 80-year-old. Advice from an 80-year-old. Become the most positive and enthusiastic person you know. Good one. Seth Godin. No is an option. So our theme of today is no an option? And Seth Godin said, no is an option. Maybe is the problem. So you have a problem and that's associated with maybe. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe this other thing, maybe. If you're serious, say yes. If it's not for you, walk away. But endlessly reconsidering opportunities without forward motion is a place to hide. So we have a decision to make. So that means there's a maybe this, maybe that in there somewhere. If we're committed, we're going to say yes. We're moving forward in whatever fashion. If it's not for us, we walk away. But to be like, what should I do? Endlessly reconsidering opportunities without forward motion is a place to hide. Right. I could do this or I could do that. I'm not sure what to do. So I'm going to continue to think about it because maybe there's this other thing. Maybe God will tell me what he wants me to do, which I think is the bonfire of the vanities. To say, God is going to tell me what to do. And that didn't work out. So I'll say, well, all things in God's timing. The timing wasn't right. Taking the responsibility from us and saying, God is going to decide for me. So he's going to shape the whole, everybody else's decision, everybody else's life to fit into what he wants me to do. So that would be an example of inside my skull-sized kingdom, right? So the world actually does revolve around me because God has a plan for me and he's going to change everybody else's life the whole world, the history of the world, to fit in his plan for me. But wait a second. He's doing the same thing for you and everyone else who's a believer? How does that work? It sounds like compromise city everywhere. Because what could be good for me could be not good for him, and God has a plan for him and her and all of these people. How does God do it so that our plans, his plan for everybody works out, and yet they still have free will, and they're not marionettes? I'm not the puppet master controlling everyone. Because if I want this to happen for you, this guy needs to cooperate. A whole bunch of people need to cooperate with that. So you get what you want, but that takes away their free will. Oh my gosh, it's really confusing. I don't know. Maybe this, maybe that. Riddle me this, said the Riddler. Okay, what else is on our hit parade? Tomorrow is the monthly wraparound. DWSS will be there. And hopefully we will get the people there. What else? What else we got going? Let's see, 16 minutes in. Maybe going to Las Vegas today. What am I missing? Let me go back to the worksheet. Arthur Brooks, Barbara Oakley, Simon Sinek, Daily Stoic, How to Be Wise. You have to suffer to be wise. That's the blog we did. Darren Hardy, Ultimate Trust Building Technique is to know when to apologize. So it's a small one, take responsibility, own it. If it's not a small one, take responsibility, own it, learn from it, and change. Well, people, I think that's it. I think that's it. No is an option. So we're going to say and cut, boom, and cut.